Now we got the target. Now we're going into the detail. Let's get it.
Ain't it obvious? I just got the check for depositing. $750 for the sound wave to get it processed. Won't stop till that shit weighing down my pockets. My main things to my main thing, she a blossom. When she ease the pain with the brain, she a doctor. She open up anything thicker than the plot gets. Swear that shit is awesome. Sight for the optics. Young nigga on top. Nike's all I'm rocking, so that all they see is checks from where the head to where the socks fit. No logo on the bifocal, flicking old roach tips. Won't even show my face until all the shows book. Need the cash in advance, leave them all social. I'm the guy they chosen. Rise up like the rose and put them on a poster. All the way up in the sky where the stars posted. Sip it on that rose, I put it down on coasters. Stack francs from the waves till I own the ocean. More praises for the sayings, let it all soak in. They like, hey, that shit is flame, bitch, I know I rode it. Going tight, dumb.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Abby with Abby Reviews, and this is going to be my retro review of The Wire Season 1, Episode 2, The Detail. All right, so let me get to my notes because it's a lot. It's a lot of notes. There's a lot of things happening. Jesus Christ. So we start, in the name of this episode is called The Detail. So we start at the morgue with Bunk and McNulty standing over the witness, Mr. Gant, who had been murdered. McNulty is telling Bunk to cover his ass with the majors. Make sure that he tells them beforehand that this is the witness from the D'Angelo Barksdale case, because he is most definitely going to the judge to tell him what's going on. He's like, just cover your, he's warning him, just cover your, it's going to be a shit show, just cover your ass, cover your ass. Bunk tries to tell him, listen, you know, this man could have got killed from any other thing. He said, I'm going to tell him it's a stone cold whodunit. McNulty's like, don't do that. Don't leave out the Barksdale angle. Just let them know. Cover your butt. Lieutenant Daniels in the Detail's new office is down in the gutter most part of the basement. Like, it's dirt and boxes, and it looks like they're in a dungeon. That's what it looks like. Like they're in the land that time forgot in this office. Like, I don't understand. And the only thing they have is a phone. And the phone is ringing when they get down there. And it's like, well, at least we know that works. And then one of the detectives picks up the phone and hangs it up. And he turns to the other ones and said, it was for McNulty. Who is the reason that they're all down there in the basement to begin with. So they all have a good chuckle about that. McNulty arrives the office and has a meeting with Lieutenant Daniels. Now, Lieutenant Daniels and McNulty are having a conversation about this being a real investigation. You know, they really want to be in it, that type of thing. And they hear a gun go off. They try to figure out what the fuck is going on. They run into the office. Everybody else is calm, looking around. And they're like, what happened? And Lieutenant Pryzbylewski shot at the wall. He shot the wall. And they were like, well, why would you shoot the wall? They was like, was it an accident? He's like, I took the clip. I was telling him how light my trigger is, and I took the clip out, but I forgot the one in the chamber. He's like, come on, it's no big deal. So apparently Lieutenant Daniels, for this particular detail, has been given he's been asked for help, and he's been given all of the low hanging fruit. Every drunk, every person who seems slow, who is not interested in working as a cop, they're just waiting out for their retirement. Every dingbat, that's what he got. So, they're at the low rises. We get to go to the low rise crew. They're sitting on the couch having a conversation about chicken nuggets and the man who discovered chicken nuggets and if he's rich or not. And D'Angelo tells them the man who discovered chicken nuggets is in Ronald McDonald's basement, still trying to discover something else, while Ronald McDonald is making all this money off of him. Lieutenant Daniel meets with the state's attorney. He's trying to get rid of Pryzbylewski because he can already see this boy is a screw up. He's going to fuck up everything that he touches. I don't want no parts. But the thing is that Pryzbylewski is has some pull because his father-in-law is a major. and the major has major pull in the city. So that's how he still has his job. So, because Lieutenant Daniels is like, what is going on? She's like, you didn't hear about Presbolewski? And he was like, no, what did he do? And she said he emptied 2 clips in his car and then called out that he was taking fire, like he was in Beirut. Like he came up with this whole cockamamie story where he was just shooting out with his gun until they matched the bullet to his service revolver. He's stupid as hell. Oh, he's trying to get the state's attorney to get him better help. And she's like, listen, I can send to my bosses, but they're not going to do anything about this. So, Kima, Herc, and Carver are on the roof that overlooks one of the tower buildings. Kima starts taking, like, as they're walking up, Herc steps on a rusted nail. So he is sitting on the ground trying to get his shoe off. Kima starts taking pictures. Bubbles is down there in front of all of the crew, D'Angelo crew that are down there sitting in front of the towers. And Bubbles is brilliant behind is playing pass the hat. So what it is that anybody who is any kind of crew member has any kind of dealings with the big people, he puts the red hat on them and Kima takes a picture. If they are lower level, then they get a different kind of hat. If they ain't got nothing to do with it, no hat at all. So McNulty and Bunk arrives in the low rises, and they're having a conversation with D'Angelo. So while Bubbles is doing pass the hat, the call goes out. Well, Bodie and them call and tell the boy, Weebay and them, that the murder cops are there to talk to D'Angelo. And so Stringer Bell and Weebay and them leave the low rises. Kima sees them leaving and she's trying to figure out where they're going. So she leaves Herc and Carver to take pictures. And she says anybody that Bubbles put a hat on, take a picture of. Herc then gets B up his bonnet, talk about Kima act like she in charge of us and she ain't been here as long as we have and she ain't got no stripes on her shoulders. That don't bother you? And Carver is literally like, can you shut up? I'm trying to take pictures. Like, shut the fuck up and sit down. We're going to talk about them bastards in a minute. So then Kima follows Weebay and Stringer Bell to the low rises where they see D'Angelo get put in handcuffs and taken away by McNulty and Bunk. Now, they get this boy into... Oh, God. They get this... So, okay, Lieutenant Daniels is trying to get some good police on the detail. And so he's talking to the one lieutenant who sent him Presbolewski. And he was like, I'll keep Presbolewski if you give me Sindors. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's like, no, he's my best guy. He's like, I know, and Prez is your worst guy. So do me a solid. He was like, fine, just leave me alone. And so he gets at least one good cop. Daniels and McNulty have D'Angelo in the interrogation room and they're talking to him and they get into this rhythm and flow about the witness was that now they don't went from this man worked in maintenance now trying to guilt this boy. They not only have given this man 2 jobs, now he's a deacon at his church and he was a single father of 3 children. And now all 3 of his children are orphans. So they guilt this boy into writing an apology letter, which the conjuncture can be used as circumstantial evidence in a later case. I don't think it's inadmissible because it's not an admission of guilt, but it gives them more motive to be able to do more investigation into this witness being killed because he was a witness in this case. So at first, D'Angelo was holding strong, and then they added more and more to this story and guilted this boy, and then they pulled out a picture of 3 kids, which happened to belong to Bunk. And Kima just sitting there like, this is bullshit. This is some straight, listen. Okay. All right. So first, D'Angelo is holding strong, and then he's asking for his attorney. He's like, when your attorney gets here, we'll let you know. And then he starts to write this letter. The attorney gets there. The attorney is hot like fish grease. He grabs D'Angelo out of there. He's like, listen, you don't never say nothing. You don't write nothing down. I don't know how many times I have to tell you people this. I'm not even going to get mad at the you people because he's absolutely right. Don't say nothing. Don't write nothing down. You ask every question. Attorney. What's your name? Attorney. Birthday? Attorney. Where were you on? Attorney. Don't say nothing. Tell. Even I know that. So, Carver, Pryzbylewski, and Herc are sitting around getting drunk. And they get the wild idea to go to the tower and rough some people up and show them who's boss around here. So they take their raggedy asses out there. Of course, the people see them coming and they hollering 5-0, 5-0, shut it down, 5-0. So all of the people, drug people gone. So there's two people, they show up and then these two people are coming out of the tower. It's some old man and this other guy minding their motherfucking business. Now they done threw the man laundry down on the ground, kicked all of his shit. So after they harassed these two people, they're heading back to the car. There's a little kid he's 14. He's leaning on the car, eating popcorn, looking at them because they told him, stay right there and don't move. So they come back and they talking to him and he was like, get on. And he was like, I'm just looking. And Pryzbylewski pistol whips the boy in the eye. At this point, I don't know who's good and who's bad because this is how black men get shot for doing nothing. This right here. Because they swept this they tried to sweep it under the rug. Lieutenant Daniels had to make up a story for Pryzbylewski to recite, talk about he feared for the life of him and his part. Wait, we didn't get there yet. So he pistol whips the boy, and then all of a sudden people start throwing things out of the window at the cops. They're throwing 40 bottles, glass is breaking everywhere. Somebody threw a TV, and they acting like they taking an active fire when people are throwing glass down at them. The little boy is screaming and crying, and then Herc says he's hit. They call in shots fired, and officer down to come in. Now, they had no business having their ass down there at 2 o'clock in the morning because there was no reason for them to be there. So they caused all of this kerfuffle. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. They caused all of this kerfuffle that they started. When we come back in the morning, by the time they cleaning up everything, they done took the little boy off to the hospital. The police car is burnt to a cinder. Lieutenant Daniels is 75 hot. He's like, what the fuck were y'all even doing down here at 2 o'clock in the morning? Harassing people. And this is when he come up with the story for Pryzbylewski. He's like, who hit the kid? And Herc and Carver don't say anything. And Pryzbylewski says, me, I did it. He's like, why? He's like, because I didn't like him. He's looking at me. Motherfucker, what? So he says, no, that's not your story. You feared for your life and the life of your fellow officers, and you tried to subdue him without using lethal force, so you hit him with your service revolver. Practice your fucking story, because if IAB gets you caught up, I can't save you. The depiction of how because he says that Herc already has 4 confirmed cases of harassment already. Listen, like this, oh my God, dear God from Zion. And it's still not no better. So McNulty is in the bed sleep. And he gets a call from Bunk. And he's like, what's going on? He's like, check the newspaper. And he was like, what? And he goes check the newspaper. And there's a front page story about the witness being killed. And everybody's trying to figure out who leaked the story to the newspaper. So Major Rawls, who is McNulty's boss, is so angry about this story coming because they don't want anyone to know this. He's so angry that he comes running out to the office and snatches all the stuff off the desk. He's like, I don't want his desk in my office. He's done here. He's done. I don't want move his desk. I don't even want his desk in the office. And the lieutenant is like, but that's not his desk. That's Crutchfield's desk. He said McNulty sits here. And so another detective, and Major Rawls stomps off. Another detective comes in. He's like, what's wrong with him? And he was like, did you look at the paper today? And he was like, just the sports? He's like, read the front page. And he was like, oh, shit. He's like, yeah, when they find out who did this, his ass is grass. So Lieutenant Daniels is at home eating dinner with his wife, talking strategy. And he was like, he's trying to figure out the best way for him to get out of this whole detail without losing any of the momentum of becoming a major that he's garnered. And, while also doing good police work. And his wife says, he was like, if I run full out, and we do good police work, they're not going to like that. If I just do a couple buying bags, quick, get in, get out, they're not going to like that. He's like, I lose. It's a lose-lose situation. And his wife says, you can't lose if you don't play. And so I guess she wants him to do nothing, just be neutral throughout this whole thing. But I don't think that can be accomplished. So we then go to the low rises. The crew is sleeping on that stupid orange sofa. Or some fiends are sleeping on the sofa. And D'Angelo gets back and he's like, yo, it's too much. And McNulty ass is drunk as he's getting out his car. He falls down a hill because he sees some kids trying to break into a car. His drunk ass. And then the hospital calls Lieutenant Daniels to tell him that the 14-year-old that Pryzbylewski pistol whipped lost his eye. That is how this episode ended. We are just getting into... Oh, I also didn't mention... Let me mention this. D'Angelo comes after the cops let him go from writing that letter, after the attorney comes and gets him. D'Angelo, his girlfriend, and his little baby go to, it looks like a community center where his uncle is cooking, and he go to have a conversation with his uncle. And he was like, and his uncle was like, none of this is on you. You said you think we killed him. You don't know if we did. That's none of your business. And if we didn't, that's none of your business. You don't have to feel sorry for any of this. None of this is on you. His uncle knows he knows he'll stand up and do the right thing. Like he's not going to censure anything, but he also knows that he's soft and has feelings. So, he's trying to make sure to prevent this boy from doing anything crazy. None of this is on you. Don't take this burden on. Don't take a burden that's not yours onto yourself. Child, listen. This is one of the best shows that has ever been produced on TV. Like the realism with the police brutality and them making up stories to cover their ass. And he's like them not wanting to. He's like, I can't. Daniel saying I can't give Pryzbylewski up. For the lambs. He's like, because we're police and that's just what you don't do. Like that blue line just can't be crossed. So listen, this episode was a lot. If you've seen it, let's get down in the comments and have a conversation about it. Tell me how you felt about Lieutenant Daniels making up that story for Pryzbylewski to repeat to IAB so he don't get hemmed up. Let's talk about the police brutality up against, and harassing people who are not doing anything to bother them just because you drunk and in your feelings. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a kin. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.